everybody. Welcome to another episode of TVGtv. This, however, is a new type of show. For those of you that have watched the first few episodes of TVGtv, that was basically rugby in Paarl and surrounding towns. And we thought it might be a good idea just to have a normal chat show. To talk about topical stuff happening in Paarl. As we all know, a lot of things are happening in Paarl. And I managed to track down Lenique to co-host with me. And she was a picky huiverig in the beginning, but power of persuasion, she managed to agree. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about what's happening in Paarl. There's a lot of things. Of course, we do the sport and the rugby on the rugby channel. So this one, basically just what's happening in Paarl. And of course, we're also going to try and have people as guests to come chat to us that are experts in the field or that are part of whatever happened that we want to discuss. But before we kick off, let's hear a bit about Lenique, Rhoda, and then we can decide what we're going to chat about.
Okay.
This is the first time.
Okay.
Over to you, Lenique.
Thank you. I'm Lenique Rhoda. I'm currently a primary school teacher in Paarl. I think this is a great opportunity for critical reflections and just get conversations going about Paarl, not just the skinner, but also to get people talking, to get people questioning things. And yeah, quite excited.
Yeah. So, and also, it's also a platform to have discussions. I think it's also a nice yardstick to find out what people in Paarl are talking about, what are the conversations. And so we can just understand what's happening in the Paarl community. So we have a lot of cultural things happening, sport things happening, art. I mean, there's so many markets, there's so many entrepreneurs, and it's a nice platform just to talk about anything. So we decided that we're going to chat a bit about the past month's news, things that popped up. But yeah, let's kick off, Lenique. What did you do the weekend, first of all?
Studies mostly.
What we studying?
I'm doing my honors in education,
Nice.
inclusive education,
All right.
making the education system accessible to
All right.
everybody, people with differences. And not like there's a problem with you, you need to change, but the system needs to change. The teacher needs to be able to teach you
Okay. Cool.
in the way that you learn best.
So was teaching always a calling?
No.
Not.
No. I never knew what I wanted to become. You know, you grow up and you play squawky with everybody, and I'm from a family of teachers. I never really knew what I wanted to do.
Okay.
But I've always had a passion for learning. I've always had a passion for teaching and finding out new things.
Okay.
So
All right,
well, it's probably always been my calling. I just didn't know.
Yeah. So what's Lenique's passions? What's the passions?
Education,
Good.
being outdoors, reading, helping children specifically. Spending time with my family.
Okay, cool.
Definitely
That's what
a
you do in our
passion.
spare time.
Yes, and reading, lots and lots of reading. Enjoy.
Nice. Okay. So seeing that you are in the education field, tell us a bit. I saw last week Paarl Zag. I think it was this is what I understand. That the principal of the new principal was not allowed on the school premises. But I have no idea what happened. Do you know what happened?
From what I know, there is the community is unhappy about the new principal being employed by the WCED.
Okay.
Apparently, they had someone else in mind. So
Alright.
they've just been preventing him or trying their best to stop him from being the principal and taking lead.
Oh wow.
From what I know as well.
Because I hear that he hasn't been at the school yet. And how long is school now? 3 weeks?
School's been on for about 3 weeks, yeah.
So they probably have like an acting principal.
They've got acting, yeah.
Okay, cool. So maybe interesting to get that person on. And then if we stick to the schools, we also had the Charleston Hill fire. I just saw the photos, the burn. Yeah, the burn. Do you know anything about that?
Nothing from just everything we've been seeing on Facebook and hearsay. But really devastating that places of education, whether it is through vandalism
Yeah.
or just some short circuit, it's really devastating that the places are being destroyed. Like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time from education and more valuable things, that time could have been spent on more valuable
Yeah.
things, more important matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost seems like I'm more interviewing you, but
Yeah.
you are the educator. Yeah, the topics are like we had Boys Eye also was in the news for what I mean, you are a teacher. What are the views of corporal punishment?
Two ways about it. Some days you do feel like this child just needs a decent hiding and maybe it will solve the problem. I think we've spoken about it, that when we do use physical punishment, corporal punishment, we are showing kids that violence is okay. You
Okay.
aren't, it's not necessarily a violent thing. Kom jy stout, ek gee vir jou 'n paar rapse. But is there not a better way of disciplining children? Obviously, people who have been at Boys Eye, like yourself, have a different view about this. But all of us are different, and hiding for one person may just be what they need. For another person, it's traumatic.
Probably,
It's traumatic,
like,
really. I know adults that are still healing from, or hidings that they got from Mr. So and so many years ago.
Yeah.
And the cycle is just being repeated because it happened to me, so I must do it as well.
Yeah.
We aren't looking at better ways or alternative ways.
Yeah, because I read an article. It says because some kids with corporal punishment, especially at a young age, they actually suffer from post-traumatic stress. So they actually have to go see psychologists because they're not used to getting hidings. But I mean, I think nowadays there must be alternatives to corporal punishment. But everything has its place somewhere in the universe. But what are the alternatives? I mean, if there's not corporal punishment, so what grade are you?
Grade 4.
So what do you do for discipline? Do you have this? What is it? Detention or what?
No detention. Fortunately, I'm very lucky to have a lovely group of kids this year. Cool. But just more rewards. You've been behaving very well today, so there's a reward for it. Not physically you are getting something, but just praise. Kids thrive on praise.
Right.
Also, if you don't do this, we take away some of your advantages, your privileges, sorry. Maybe just a shorter break, or there's no surprise, or we can't go out to play a little longer. Little things, and you sort of bargain with the kids, that they know, if I do this, then these are the consequences. If I behave, if I do my bit, then obviously there's a reward for me, and it's worthwhile.
Okay, cool.
It works a lot better with the younger kids, like with the grade 4s, because, I don't know, grade 7s or the older kids have their own idea of what they want to do and you can't tell them. And
Okay, but do you have corporal punishment at your school?
No.
Okay.
We don't. It's illegal. Just
no, but
it's illegal.
And then of course it's also election season, and it's also a lot of public holidays now.
Yeah.
And I think we must get maybe some views on our electorate here in Paarl. What are our options? I'm sure everybody knows what their options are already.
The thing is, okay, continue. Please continue.
You can go. I want to hear your views about it. Are you gonna vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Very important that we vote. I just don't know who to vote for. Like,
options are bad.
I don't know who to vote for. Like, yes, this party and this party and this person making promises, but I voted before and I haven't really seen changes. Especially in fields where I am passionate, schools, resources, improving things for children. Like, the promises are made and everybody wants your vote, but then after elections it sort of dies down. You don't hear from them. You don't see anybody. Now with the elections coming up, I see the political parties driving up and down quite often.
It's almost like you only see them over election season.
You know, and that's been said so many times. So,
but it's very, I think it's like there must be a new type of election season, because it's the same every single year, the same process, going out, giving out t-shirts, what they call it, campaigning. but I think there must be something else. Must be something else. So, what are the plans for long weekends? Nothing?
Church, definitely, because it's
Okay.
Easter weekend.
You very religious?
Not very religious, but I am fond of Easter. It's a very
Okay.
nice time for me to spend time with my family.
Yeah.
And just commemorate. My parents are quite religious.
Okay.
So I've always grown up with Easter time is, besides pickled fish and buns. Yeah, besides the pickled fish
So my
and
wife,
buns.
brought some pickled fish home tonight,
Okay.
and she said I mustn't touch it. But when she left, I had
You
to
had to.
and warm the hot cross bun.
My mom was making hot cross buns now, and then I was making
Yeah.
pickled fish this afternoon. Besides the point.
Yeah.
Completely
But very,
besides the
but
point.
interesting. I don't know if you saw that there was that theater or museum or cathedral that was burning in France. And interesting, this morning I heard they said that two of the nails that were used in the crucifixion was kept at that place.
In the Notre Dame in Paris.
Yeah.
I did not hear that, but that's
Wow,
interesting.
very interesting.
Very interesting.
So this weekend I went to MWI, Miss Phenomenal, Leland Watson, and wow, it was such a, how do you say? It was such a humbling type of event. They had all. So what the MWI is a pageant for Down syndrome kids, Mr. and Mrs. And Leland is South Africa's Miss Phenomenal. She might be going to Las Vegas or at the 2020, I think. But it was such a well organized, nice speeches, and I really enjoyed it. And it also touches on a bit of like autism, because this month is also autism awareness. And after this awareness, I've been reading up a lot about autism, and I never knew there's so many schools and institutions that are dealing with autism and looking after the kids, which is pretty amazing.
It's amazing. I also think because autism ranges on such a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
So it's not just the child is autistic.
Yeah.
There are degrees of, if I may call it that,
Yeah.
degrees of autism. And obviously the school needs to cater to all those needs.
Yeah.
On the, what is it, Miss Phenomenal?
Miss Phenomenal, Leland Watson.
From Paarl,
Yeah.
it is really phenomenal, that
no,
these
amazing.
opportunities are made available
No,
to
totally.
people.
Yeah, because they say she models and she sings and she
Oh,
acts.
wow.
Yeah, so full round talent. The other thing was I saw there was a shooting at Checkers last week.
Yeah.
Well, not I saw, I heard. I mean, in broad daylight. I also don't know what's it about. Do you know what's it about?
No.
Okay, cool.
From what I read in the Paarl post is all I know.
Is it?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was in the purpose?
A guy had to be in court, and then on his way back from court, he got gunned down.
Wow, so it's probably a witness or
That's
something.
all I read about
Wow,
it.
amazing.
Not really amazing,
No,
eh?
I mean amazing, like in broad daylight,
Especially
in a
in that
parking
part
lot.
of
Yeah,
Paarl.
it's what you call it, boom gate type of place. Yeah, which is scary. Then on the sports front, I saw that Paarl is hosting the netball indoor World Cup.
Okay.
I don't know, in July or August, which is out of all the places in the world they come to Paarl.
The arena here is quite well equipped.
Yeah, you play, don't you play?
No.
Okay.
The arena is quite well equipped. So I think it's a great opportunity
Yeah.
for people to come to Paarl, to develop skills, to just enjoy the game.
Yeah. Tell me, what is topical in Paarl now? Except for the stuff we discussed.
I think the high accident rate that was in the Paarl post last
Okay,
week,
all right.
especially on the R45,
Yeah.
where there have been quite a number of accidents over the past few
I
months.
saw, now that you say R44, I saw there was an article about a family that was evicted that's living for 3 months still on the R44. They're refusing to get housing in New Orleans Park.
Wow, I didn't know about
Yeah.
that.
I saw it this morning and I thought, for 3 months on the road, I think it's got to do with the evictions, the farm evictions.
Farm
or
evictions,
something,
yeah.
which is also pretty topical as well, because I see that at the High Court now.
On the school front, lots of hockey and winter sports are beginning
Oh,
to.
yes, of
The
course.
leagues are starting now.
Okay. Do
Very
you
exciting.
teach school sport at school?
Yeah, and coach the hockey at
Okay,
the
cool.
primary school.
All right.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
You know, we all know the benefits of exercise and not just the health benefits. So being
Yeah.
in a team, developing skills.
Okay. So what's your fitness regime?
That personally, or
Yeah.
at school,
No, yours. See that you say that's the health. That's the way to do
I go
it.
to Love Fit.
Okay.
I
Cool.
think as many other people in Paarl go to Love Fit, try and stay
How
fit.
often do you go?
I try to go twice a week. I'm not always
Okay.
as diligent.
Yeah.
Just to get the endorphins going.
So we gym and do we eat healthy?
I try.
Okay.
I try.
Okay. So what's for
Most
breakfast?
days, oats or
Okay.
green juice,
All right.
and then
I think for me is the fitness part is the easy part. It's the eating part that
Definitely.
I can't deal with it.
especially when it comes to socializing
Yeah, exactly.
and weekends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and now with the cold weather approaching, like you really
Yeah.
crave something on the sweet side.
Yeah. I saw it is Mother's Day soon.
Yes.
When?
May.
Jeez Louise.
Sometime in May.
Okay.
Sometime in May.
Yeah, because they at work also they said they wanted to do something for Mother's Day. They want to take the ladies out for a spa. But then I thought, but what happens on Father's Day?
No, Mother's Day. It's women have 20,000 jobs every single day.
Okay.
And it's important that they just take some time to, you know, relax, breathe, have people spoil you.
Okay.
Have people spoil you.
What do you think about Paul's nightlife?
I don't know, eh? I don't go out as often as I used to.
Okay.
But there's definitely a need for more.
Yeah.
Not just the
normal.
normal.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
maybe something for people who don't only enjoy clubbing or being in a environment where there's drinking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
partying, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely something that caters to other needs.
Yeah, no, I agree. But very interesting. Last week, Wednesday, I was at the Artscape. And when I went into the Artscape, I saw all over the foyer posters, booklets. There were Paarl and Wellington People's posters.
Wow.
And I did a post about it, and I thought, why must Paarl and Wellington's people go all the way to the Artscape?
Yeah.
So I noted that there is the Old Mill Theatre that is also. But I thought, how awesome would it be if Paarl has its own theatre? If you think of all the talent here, I mean, people on St. Ooster, people on Arendsvlei, people on Numai Scully, all those. I mean, can you imagine how cool it will be? And that's only not for theatre, it can be for music,
It can.
bands and everything.
Yeah.
That would be so cool to have a theatre in Paarl. So if you had any theatre talent, what would it have been? Singing? Being an actor?
Behind the scenes, does that count?
No,
No.
that would be in front.
I would probably try singing. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
You?
Me,
Probably acting, eh?
I have no idea. Probably a stand-up comedian.
I feel like that's too much work. I wouldn't know what to say ever.
Yeah, but it's amazing that they only have like 5 minutes skits, and they actually the preparation they put into that 5 minutes is quite long. So a lot of the people know a lot about me. Let's give you 10 questions
Go for it.
about Lenique, and then I think next week we can touch on other topics, seeing that the news was so slow over the past week. Last movie you cried on?
What's the last movie I even watched? Wait.
Oh my gosh. Are we a Game of Thrones fan?
No, not
Okay,
at all. Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
The last episode. I cried for that.
Okay, but I mean, Grey's Anatomy, you
It's
cry
a
on
scene.
every episode.
Okay, movie then.
Yeah.
There was a Julia Roberts movie, old one I rewatched the other day.
Okay.
Gift, something
Okay.
about this boy with special needs.
Yeah.
Or he undergoes many operations and then eventually goes
wow.
to a normal school.
Okay. But what type of crying is this? Is this like sobbing, or is this like hiding away tears crying?
A bit of both.
Okay,
Definitely
cool.
a bit of both. Very emotional, so
Okay, cool. I think mine was A Dog's Purpose.
never seen it.
Yeah.
Animation?
No, animals. Anything
Okay.
with a dog, it's like it can just start, and the tears already
Of
flowing.
course.
And I still watch it with the kids. It's like the lump is in the throat, but I can't really cry.
Yeah.
But, right. Supper, 2 people in the world. Who would you invite for supper? Anybody, dead or alive, doesn't matter.
Julia Roberts.
Good. And who else?
They should want to go for supper with me. I don't know. I don't know. Julia Roberts, definitely.
Okay. And
No.
last book you read?
Desert Royal.
Okay, never heard of it.
It's about life for princess in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, nice.
So it's true life, or based on her life and growing up as a princess.
Okay, cool.
And the struggles that she as a woman had to endure at the hands of the men in her family and the men in her country.
Oh yeah,
So-
okay. That's hectic. Pinch myself moment.
I've got so many, and now I can't think of
Wow,
one.
that's amazing.
Now I
So
can't
many.
think of one. Can we skip that one?
Okay.
Okay.
If you could play in a band, in which band would it be? Or if you could sing alongside anybody, who would it be?
Lionel Richie.
Okay, cool.
Lionel Richie,
If you weren't a teacher, what would you be?
a psychologist.
Okay, so why?
Or a chef.
Okay,
So,
because you love
two
food,
different things.
or you love what, human behavior, or what? Why psychologist?
Psychology I like. Knowing why people do certain things and
Love
how context influence us
Mm.
and why we react in certain ways, like what triggers people to do things, and why does different people react differently to different situations. Like it always blows my mind.
Yeah.
And then second option, chef, because I like playing around in the kitchen. Not very good at it.
Yeah.
Like playing around in the kitchen, like tasting new flavors and mixing them, and it's interesting
Okay,
to see what you can actually come up with
Yeah.
and how so many combinations just
Okay,
work.
cool. So are you impatient or not? Seeing that you like human behavior.
Depends
Okay.
how I'm feeling also.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm relatively patient.
Okay.
It takes a lot to get me worked up.
What would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Enjoy life.
Okay.
Like just take everything as it comes, do your best, but enjoy it while you are in the moment.
Yeah. Cool. So Lenique, so next week we going to touch on more topics.
Okay.
And yeah, let's take it from there and see how this journey, where this journey will end, because I have no idea where it's gonna end. But why I'm excited is I think I'm gonna enjoy the conversation, which is something I love doing, getting different perspectives.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think if we can get interesting topics with people that have a feel for those topics, I think the conversation will be interesting.
Definitely.
What are you looking forward to in this?
Learning new things.
Okay, cool.
Seeing different perspectives that are different from my own,
Yeah.
especially. Reflection, like critical reflection.
Cool.
It doesn't have to be serious at all. Just like, okay, this happened. What do I really think about it? How do I feel about it? Can I perhaps make some sort of change, even if it's a very, very small one? Yeah, and to just find out what's happening around us, especially the positive things that are happening around us.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, Lenique, so I don't want to keep you any longer. We see each other next week.
Thank you. Great.
Hope to see you guys. Thanks for joining for the first episode.